All right, let's talk about something that can be pretty nerve-wracking for any new developer, the Python technical interview. We're going to break down a really simple but powerful way to approach it. The whole idea is to shift your focus from just scrambling for the right answer to showing them how you think. Because honestly, that's what they actually care about. So let's jump in.
So, what do you think it is? What's the #1 mistake that trips up almost every beginner in a Python interview? It's probably not what you think. It has nothing to do with forgetting a specific function or even writing code that isn't perfectly optimized. It's something way more basic. And the good news is, it's totally in your control. And here it is. This is the single most important thing to get in your head. It's not about speed. It's about clarity. The interviewer cares way more about how you arrive at an answer than how fast you type it. Your thought process, that's the real product they're evaluating, not just the final line of code. Okay, so how do you actually show them your thought process, especially when you're under pressure? You use a framework. It sounds fancy, but it's not. We're going to walk through a super simple 3-step method that you can literally apply to any technical question they throw at you. And it's really this simple. Step 1, explain your logic. Step 2, write the code. Step 3, explain the code you just wrote. Before your fingers even hit the keyboard, you talk. Then you code, then you talk again. Think about that. 2/3 of this entire process is just communication. That, right there, is your key to success.
Okay, theory is great, but let's put this framework to the test. Let's see how it actually works in practice. We're going to apply it right now to a couple of classic beginner Python interview questions.
First up, a total classic. The interviewer leans in and asks, how do you reverse a string in Python? Now, your first instinct, your muscle memory, is probably to just start typing the answer, right? But hold on. Remember the framework. Don't code yet. Instead of typing, you start by talking. You explain your logic out loud. You might say something like, okay, so I know that strings in Python are immutable, which means I can't actually change the original string, so what I'll do is use slicing with a negative step to create a brand new reverse copy. Bam! Just by saying that, you're not just giving an answer, you're showing you understand a core Python concept, immutability. That's a huge win right there. Now you write the code, and look at that. It's clean, it's simple, it's one single line, but because you explained it first, that one little line of code suddenly has so much more weight behind it. You've already proven you know exactly why it works.
Okay, let's try another one and see how this can build. How do you remove duplicates from a list? This is a great question because it tests your knowledge of Python's data structures. And again, what's the first thing you do? You pause, you don't code.
This is where you can really level up your answer. You explain your logic, but you also mention the trade-offs. You could say, my first thought is to use a set, since sets in Python automatically handle uniqueness, but it's important to mention that this approach might not preserve the original order of the list. Whoa, now you're not just a coder. You're showing the interviewer you think about consequences and edge cases. That's what a real developer does. And then, only then, comes the code. And it looks almost exactly like what you just said out loud. The goal is for your code to feel like a direct, logical translation of your clear, spoken explanation. So, of course, interviews aren't just about these little coding puzzles. Sooner or later, you're going to get asked to talk about a project you've worked on. And guess what? The exact same principle of clear, structured explanation applies here too.
Look, when they ask about a project, don't just ramble. You need to tell a story. Give your answer some structure. Start with what the project does, the problem you are trying to solve. Then explain why you built it. Walk them through a few key technical features you're proud of. And always, always finish with what you learned from the experience. This turns a simple project into a powerful story about your skills.
But what happens when the worst-case scenario hits? They ask you a question and your mind just goes completely, totally blank. We've all been there. It's a horrible feeling, but there's an escape plan.
The #1 rule here is avoid silence at all costs. It's awkward for you and it's super awkward for the interviewer. Instead, you have to vocalize your thought process, even if it's incomplete. Just saying something like, I'm not 100% sure of the final answer, but here's where I'd start thinking about it. That shows honesty and problem-solving skills, which are so much more valuable than just having a perfect answer memorized.
So after all is said and done, what's really going through the interviewer's head? What are they ticking off on that mental checklist while you're talking and coding? Let's pull back the curtain. This is what it really comes down to. This is what they're evaluating. Number 1, your thinking process. 2, the clarity of your explanation. 3, your confidence.
And 4, your honesty when you get stuck. Now take a good look at what's not on this list. Speed isn't on there. Perfection isn't on there. They care about your potential as a problem solver, not whether you're a walking, talking compiler.
So you see, the interview isn't some terrifying test of everything you've ever memorized. It's an opportunity. It's a chance to have a technical conversation and just show them your mind at work. It's a chance to solve a problem together. The real question isn't whether you know every single answer. It's this: are you ready to show them how you think?